Hey guys, today I just wanted to do a quick overall review on the Zeon Hi capa 5.1. And first of all, I'm just going to go over some of the stuff that came with the gun, and as well as some of the features that this actually has. So I got this off of a friend. He got a couple of these in. I got it for a good price. In Canada, it's quite difficult to acquire a gun that's marui compatible. Most of the time, you either have to go with KJWs, maybe even WEs, which in my opinion are not very good, and or you can go actually get a real marui, which costs around $300 in Canada. They are quite rare, so the price for $300 is actually pretty decent. People will actually buy it for $300 in Canada. So, but this particular one is a marui clone. I got it for about $250. Not too bad, being a full metal pistol compared to the marui, which is plastic. But yeah, let's go into details later in a bit, but let's go inside and take a look. So opening up the box, you get the usual foam padding and all that stuff. You get your manual here, which is just the usual stuff. You know, tells you about all of the things that you shouldn't do, like let a baby shoot a cat, and walking around with it in public, and using it in high temperatures and stuff, or pointing it at someone else. But yeah, funny pictures. But the instruction manuals is written in pretty decent English. You can understand it quite well, so it really isn't too bad. But they do the job, and they are actually quite clear. So moving on, we got the cleaning rod, which is actually okay, but I just don't like these little ridges on the cleaning rod here. It would be better if it was a bit thinner, because this is actually almost the size of a BB. So when you try to stick this into a 6.01 millimeter barrel, it's a little bit too tight. So I would definitely try to use a different cleaning rod if you're ever going to clean it, like a stock marui one. As you can see, stock marui one doesn't have the ridges at the back, and that makes it a whole lot easier to clean it. Moving on, of course, you get the pistol itself and the magazine. Now the gun actually doesn't come with this grip. I changed it out already. This is a capa tactical grip. The grip that came with the gun is the standard Hi capa grip, which is the the square trigger guard, and the Ops MRP one with the logo down here. I didn't really like the trigger on that and the grip, so I ended up swapping it out for this capa grip, which makes the gun feel a lot more comfortable, and the trigger now shoots much more crisp. As you can see, I've tuned it. The reset is real nice, and the trigger pull is also very, very crisp. Allows me to shoot pretty quick. But the magazine that came with the gun is just a standard 5.11. I don't know who makes it. It seems like this is made by a different company, not by Zeon. That's just my initials and the number of magazines I have. This is number 1. Yeah, this one holds, I think, about 28 rounds. Holds gas pretty well. Holds a lot of gas, actually. You can shoot about 2.5 mags out of this without cooldown. So right now it's about 20 degrees in summer, 20, sometimes going up to 22. But shoots really well at this weather. As you can probably tell, the gun is full metal. That's one thing that I really like about this pistol, is that you don't really have to go and look for any external parts for it if you're looking for a full metal pistol. The material that they use to make it and the finish on the metal is actually pretty decent for the price. And one thing that's really nice about it is that the slide and frame fitment is actually very, very good compared to a stock marui one. A stock marui one won't have such a good finish on it, like a good fitting. It'll wobble a lot more. This actually fits a little bit better compared to a marui one. The trigger is metal, the one that came with it at least, and the hammer is also metal, unlike the ones on the marui with a plastic trigger. I believe the metal on the marui ones is an alloy. Not too sure what it is, but this one seems to look, decent. the outer barrel and the spring guide are also made of metal. Not too bad, although the metal is, not high quality metal, but it really does the job. I've shot like 500 rounds out of this pistol, and so far it's been functioning great. One thing that's really nice about this particular pistol, though, is that on the stock Marui one, the sights are actually removable. You might find that a bad thing if, on this one, because the sights are actually permanently fitted onto the slide. One thing good about that is because the Marui one, the front sight has a tendency to just fall off if you bump it, or a lot of people have been losing their front sights. This one is permanently fitted, so it doesn't come off, and the rear sight is adjustable, so they're pretty decent. And the front also does have the white dot to make it a little bit easier to acquire your target. I really like these sights. They work really well for me, and during my IPSC courses that I run, this gun actually functions pretty well. In terms of accuracy, though, it is not the best in the stock form. Sometimes it shoots pretty consistent. Sometimes I get like 2 double taps. They're actually touching each other, but very rarely. Most of the time they kind of go in like this sort of general direction. Sometimes they would go left, right, and all over the place. It's hard to really determine where the gun is going to shoot. So the stock form of the gun is, well, it's okay if you're going to hit a man-sized target, but if you're going for accuracy, it's really not the best, especially for IPSC. So what I did was I replaced some of the parts internally. I changed out the nozzle to an Airsoft Surgeon nozzle with the Airsoft Surgeon piston head. I also swapped out the... actually, you can probably see that there. That's the Airsoft Surgeon nozzle. I also swapped out the hop-up rubber with a PDI W-hold rubber, as well as a PDI 6.01 inner barrel. And after the upgrades, the accuracy is actually really good. I'm getting much more consistent shots. The shot group is much more predictable. It's not all over the place. It's much more accurate, and I'm getting pretty much all hitting right dead center of all the targets. I rarely miss with this gun, and that's from about 10 feet away. 10 feet away, targets being maybe like this size for an A zone. So yeah, the grouping that I've shot with this is usually this big, from about 10-15 feet away. Not too bad. I did try shooting at around 30-40 feet, I think. I don't really remember the exact distance, but it's about there. I think it's around 40-50 feet actually. I was shooting a small-sized propane tank can, which is about this big, like that, and 30 feet away. Actually, it's about that big. It's kind of hard to tell, but those Coleman ones, they're hanging on some sort of rig, but I was able to bring every shot that came from this gun hit the propane tank every single time, and that's shooting just rapid fire, like of course with the consistency of the grip and stuff like that, and sights and all that. But all of the shots hit, which I actually was quite amazed with such a simple setup. It didn't really cost me that much because I ordered the parts during the Memorial Day. I think it was like 12-15% off. So I got a pretty good deal on the barrel and the hop-up rubber, as well as the nozzle. I also got a couple of Pro-Win magazines. I got 2 of them, and those ones function really well, except I did need to modify the gun a little bit. If you do want to run the Pro-Win mags, you really have to modify it. And the reason being is, well, the stock Marui 5.1s, when you put the mag in, they wobble a lot, and to actually alleviate that issue, Zeon has actually just enlarged this rear surface right there, that shiny piece there. That's where I modified it, but in doing so, it doesn't work with the Pro-Win mag, so you have to shave that down in order for it to work. And camera's just about out of memory here, so I'm just gonna cut it for a sec and open. Alright, so back to what I was talking about on the Pro-Win magazines. So modifying the rear surface here, the inner surface of the receiver, the Pro magazines now slide in here perfectly. As you can see, the lower part of the magazine does have a little bit of wobble, but there's none at the top, as you can see. This is one thing that I really like about the Zeon Hi capa. One thing that I really commend this on. Commend the company that made this. It's designed in a way it's designed so that you can actually modify the fitment and the tolerances on your gun to your own preferences. So when you are planning to use it as a base gun to maybe make a race gun, you can actually do the fitment yourself. So everything they've oversized this part, like all the fitment stuff, just a little bit, so it fits a lot better with any aftermarket parts. For example, here, if you look carefully at the rails on the lower receiver, they are actually a bit wider and thicker than the stock marui rails. So if you go to actually install a Pro G4 slide or any external slide with similar dimensions, they fit perfectly. I think these rails were specifically designed for Pro G slides because putting them on here, they fit perfectly. They don't wobble. They're basically just, it looks like they're made to fit each other. It's just really, really well done. I really like it. But yeah, that's one thing I really like about the Zeon Hi capa, is that they fixed some of the issues the marui ones had, which technically they didn't have very much, but it makes it for those people who do like to, who really care about tolerances and stuff, they can actually adjust it themselves, which is what I like about it. Also, one more thing about the stock form is that the springs on the gun, they're not very strong. So what I did was I replaced the recoil spring of the KJW Hi capa spring, and the hammer spring inside is just the one that came with a tiny cobra grip. So it's a bit more snappy, not as weak as the original recoil spring, and as you can see, the slide itself is actually pretty snappy. So it gives me a little bit better, faster cycling, and it just feels a lot nicer when you shoot it, much more crisp. Maybe I'll fire a couple shots here. Actually, I won't. This is actually filled with propane, so it's gonna smell. My room's gonna smell like crap after, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I'll post a video on my run with this without stock configuration. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I'll post a video on my run that I use when I use this gun in its factory configuration. I haven't made a video yet with the new upgrades, but the video really explains, really shows the sort of the inconsistency of the accuracy. The first couple targets, I was able to hit them dead on, but then on the last one or two targets, the BB's trajectories just started becoming very random. I had to fire about 6 shots just to hit one steel target. So I'll definitely post that video up for you guys to take a look at. But overall, I think I really like this gun. For $250, it's a really, really good deal. If you do want to get this gun, if you're in the US or something like that, it's only going to be about $100 for this pistol. You can find it on WGC Shop or eHobby Asia, which sells it a little bit more expensive. It's about $120, I believe. But for that price, this pistol is actually a very, very good deal, and it doesn't cost a lot to make it shoot well. Of course, if you want to follow, if you want to do all the upgrades I have in here, it's really simple. They're not expensive at all. You can just take it from your KJW Hi capa if you want. Or you can actually just find that maybe if you want to go a little bit better, a guard or 150% spring. That would definitely make it shoot a lot snappier, but then I wouldn't know how well the material would hold up against a stronger spring. But so far with the KJW, spring, I've been getting very good results. But with the upgrades, I'm shooting about 301 to about 306 feet per second very consistently. With the stock configuration, it was shooting for like 299, 300, and sometimes it goes down to 260. It's okay, but could be better. But you know, performance-wise and for the price, it's a very, very good pistol. Actually, I'm going to show you guys what this gun looks like with a Pro G slide. Give me a sec. Okay, so what I have next to me now is my custom Hi capa. You guys have probably already seen it. If you haven't, you can go ahead and check out the video to see what kind of upgrades I have on here. But this is a fully custom built Hi capa, all custom parts. As you can see, it looks very, very unique. Modified to like, everything's pretty much modified. Straight barrel, full length guide rod, barrel bushing in here. Everything is just super, super top notch. Built by a friend of mine in Toronto. He goes by the name of Illusion on Airsoft Canada. He does some really good work. So if you guys are interested, you guys can go PM him on his YouTube channel or on Airsoft Canada, which is a better place to ask him. Definitely one of the better techs out there. But anyways, this is his Illusion Kinetic slide, which I believe is pretty similar to a Pro G slide, but I'm pretty sure the dimensions are the same. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this on the Zeon Hi capa. As I mentioned before, the fitment between the slide and frame is already very good in stock configuration. Now, with this one, as you can see, it's even tighter. Much tighter. Barely any wobble. And if you actually go ahead and install everything, the function of the gun is actually really nice. It's great. It's a very nice cycling gun. It also adds to the cool factor to it because it has the Kimber trades, and it just looks very, very unique, especially in this all black, setup. I think it looks really cool. But yeah, very, very nice pistol. I really like the look of this right now on this gun, but unfortunately this has to stay on my custom frame because I really like that one. I really like this configuration. I don't want to mess with it, so I'm just gonna leave it on here. But sooner or later, I will get a second set for the Zeon Hi capa. Eventually, when I wear out the slide and stuff. Maybe change out the hammer as well. So, but compared this to my Zeon Hi capa, this one definitely it's not as good as my, of course, fully custom Hi capa, but for the price that you spend to upgrade it, it shoots pretty darn close. It's really close. I mean, this was really expensive. I don't even want to tell you how much this cost. This was very expensive, but this one here, I put about maybe an extra $100 on the gun. So here it's about $350. Shoots better than a stock marui, and close enough to this. So, but if you're in the U.S. and you want to order this from overseas, this is just going to cost you about $220 or even just $200 flat, and you've already got a nice full metal, really good performing Hi capa, especially since the Hi capas have a really high gas, a huge gas reservoir in the magazine. It's going to function a lot better in the in colder weather. It's not going to function in the winter at all, but it's going to work in colder weather a little bit better, and it's going to work extremely well in the summer. So, but anyways, that's pretty much it for this review. Overall, this is a really, really good gun for the price. Decent quality. Performance-wise is average, but with a little bit of work, can be made to shoot very accurately. So that's it. That's the Zeon Hi capa. Again, it's pretty much the exact copy of a Marui 5.1 with some minor changes to it, but overall, really well done. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this review. If you guys liked what you saw, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to post in the comments below, and I will answer them as soon as possible. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.